Hey YouTube, Rico Knows here. If you don't know who I am, I pick fights for a living. It's really what I do. Anyway, shout out to all my people out there. We got MVPs everywhere. We got thousands all across all the other platforms. Shout out to all the premium members. I appreciate you guys. You guys changed my life. So if you ever hear me say, what up, MVPs, that's who they are. And then shout out to the 250,000 people who follow me on all the platforms, whether it be Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Patreon, whatever it is. I appreciate all of you guys. Before we get into this matchup here, because I'm going to be talking about the main event of UFC 316, I'm giving away the prediction for free. I don't typically do that. I'm the best in the business. I try not to give away stuff for free, but we do the early fight and the main event. This year, so far, when giving away main events for free, money line, 17-3. Or excuse me, 14-3. Out of 17 fight cards, 14-3. I've only missed a main event 3 times so far this year. Okay, a couple other things I want to show you. If you want to know who's going to win all the fights, all you got to do is get to Patreon. Okay, this is last week's fights, which is pretty cool. But you can see this week's fights. I don't want to scroll up too much because you'll be able to see certain things because I have it on like my point of view or something like that. But I've already posted all the videos, broken down every single fight, told you which parlays to do, which bets, which prop bets to take, all this stuff, how you want to get around to it, the best betting strategy. We've done it all. And shout out to the MVPs. There's like 2,000-3,000 of these guys that are interacting with one another. They actually get, once you get to Patreon or YouTube, join the channel, you can get to the Discord server, and then they can talk to each other and give each other ideas for their parlays, props, or whatever they're worried about. Another thing, if you want to watch the fights with me, I do a live stream on the Discord server, on the stage. First 300 people to show up, you're allowed to show up. UFC cards, usually fight nights, we probably only get like up to 100 people in there, but UFC fight cards, we get everybody up in there and we have a good time. You guys show up to the stage, I will provide live bet analysis, and I do the commentary. I'm much better than the dudes on the side of the cage. I've been a hand-to-hand combat instructor for the last 20 years of my life. I was an all-Army fighter in the Army. I've trained in every martial art you can think of. This is what I used to do. So when I'm talking about the fighters, I can actually tell you what they're doing and what they're attempting to do. And that's kind of what helps me get all my predictions correct. Shout out to me. I just kind of have a really good grasp of who these fighters are as people and what they're trying to do in the cage. This is what YouTube looks like if you go to the membership. You're going to get the members-only videos. Just become an MVP like everybody else. All right, but let's talk about the main event. Main event, Merab, can't say his last name. If you can, cool, bro. I'm not from the USSR or Georgia. And he's fighting Sugar. He's fighting Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley's not going to dye his hair for this fight. Merab is a minus 300 favorite. This is a rematch. They've already fought before. And if you saw the fight before, it was in UFC Noche. It was in the Sphere in Vegas. This fight's taking place in Jersey. And when you're watching if you go back and watch the fight, they posted on TikTok, and I want to say they probably posted on the Fight Pass or somewhere else. They posted the whole fight and the 5th round again. And if you go back and watch the 5th round of this fight, you're going to see Merab literally run around for like 2 minutes. Not a single punch is thrown. He's just running around for 2 minutes, and we're in the 5th round. This is after 20 minutes of fighting. He's still able to just run around. Now, he doesn't want to close the distance with the enemy. He does not want to strike. And Sean O'Malley is out there frustrated and trying to hit him. And Sean O'Malley actually has some really good success in the round. He actually connects here and there, and Merab can get floored. He has no chin. He can get floored when he gets hit. And you look at it and you're like, yeah, this is the Sean O'Malley we wanted to see. And I think it's very strategic by the UFC and all their platforms to release just the 5th round and to show the 5th round to everybody to get you excited for this fight. Because otherwise, this is a silly fight, and this is not a rematch anybody's hoping for. It turns out, apparently, in the last fight, Sean O'Malley was compromised. He said he had an injured hip or something, and he went ahead and fought without it and all this. In the last fight, Sean O'Malley was the favorite, and Merab was the slight underdog. And we were on O'Malley that night, and I'll never forget it. We were watching it, and we had such a horrific night in the Sphere. That was a bad night for us, gambling-wise. And I just remember watching it and being so frustrated with O'Malley. Like, why can't you get up? Why don't you know what you're doing? You don't know how to get rid of hooks? Why are you taking these knees to the ass? But if you go back and you watch that 5th round, you're really encouraged. You're like, oh, man, if Sean O'Malley could only do that, he'd win the whole fight. But slow down. Merab landed over 300 significant strikes in that fight. Over 300. Or he threw over 300 significant strikes. Versus Sean O'Malley, who threw, I think, 90. There were rounds where Sean O'Malley just got taken down and all you could do was gasp and just feel all your money leaving, right? It just didn't feel right. Merab did something strategically very, very advanced in the last fight. So if you aren't aware what Merab does, Merab's known as a pressure wrestler, and he will just push forward. And if you're a striker, you're going to have a hard time because if you throw any naked kicks or any kicks of any sort, he's either going to catch one or he's going to follow it in. He's going to just change levels and go. And everybody knows this. So when you watch training from Sean O'Malley for that fight, if you watch all his fight camp and everything they show you, he's always doing those combos. And you might say to yourself, man, why are you working on your striking? Why are you kicking at people's ankles and stuff? It's because they anticipated this Merab to go and crash, change levels and crash up against you, and then get up against the cage and fight for that double leg. Switch to a single leg, go high seat. Whatever Merab's going to do, he's going to do. He's an incredible wrestler. So they trained like that. They trained up against the cage, back on the cage, and they just anticipated there would be this Merab pressure and takedown. So they fought against that and defended it. And when they got in the cage, that's not what happened. Merab did not rush him. Merab kind of danced around and just kept running around in the middle of the cage. He would throw some strikes here and there, but he was in the middle, out in the open, not up against the fence. And it's at that point Sean O'Malley has to change his game plan. And he looked kind of a deer in the headlights, right? He's bewildered. He changes his game plan, and now he comes forward. And now he's taking the fight to Merab in the middle of the octagon. Something he didn't train for, something he didn't anticipate. And when he took the fight to Merab and he tried to do anything extracurricular, he found himself now in a world of hurt because now Merab can change levels and you don't have the fence to help you get back up. You can't wall walk against the fence. You don't get to reach for that fence. You never get there. You're in the middle of the octagon with nothing to save you. You're just out there drowning in the deep end, and now you have this little guy on top of you, and it's a bad place to be. So it was an ingenious idea by Merab to change up his pressure and just let the fight come to him, and he won the fight. But the judges still made it fairly close on some cards, right? And you got to feel like Sean O'Malley is going to be better this time around. He's going to be able to move around, and I hope he understands what happened to him. I'd imagine they have some of the best coaches out there. They can analyze what was going on in the cage. But never in my life would I see that first fight and then turn around and tell the public, the world, oh, you got to take Sugar this time. You got to take Shane. No, I don't believe. I was going to say Shane Mosley. I don't believe Sean O'Malley can do this. I just don't. I've seen him. I've heard his corner not give him advice when he needs it. And I'm talking about the advice to overcome what's happening in the cage. You know, make on-the-spot corrections or like live-time advice. Maybe they can figure it out after they watch film, but they weren't figuring it out in the cage that night. They weren't. The advice was like, hang in there. We're going to make it to the bell. We're almost done. Like, listen to words. Words mean something. You know, I hate coaches who tell guys, breathe. Dude, I breathe every fucking day of my life since I was 2 years old that I can remember, right? I've been breathing since I came out the womb without anybody telling me. I don't need you to tell me to breathe. I know how to breathe. Tell me why this guy's whipping my ass. So I just can't get down with Sean O'Malley, but I want to tell you guys this. I think Merab's winning this fight. Cool. These odds are dumb. They really are. Even with what happened, and you've seen this entire fight card. Now, I don't want to get into it because I've already broken it all down for all the MVPs. That's why you go over here, and if you see, you'll see this video up here, right here. It says Kayla Harris and Julia Pena. This one right here is a full fight card breakdown, and I talk about every parlay prop, every single fight, and how I think things are going to go, method for every single fight, everything. And what I want to tell you in that video, I talk about certain things, but I want to tell you that I don't agree with the odds. And I don't agree with the odds on a lot of these fights. A lot of them. But they're going to make it difficult for you to win some money. I think Vegas is building towers off this card. It's the first card in a while. We've been on a bunch of fight nights. We had one week off, and then, right, Memorial Day weekend, and then you had a bunch of fight nights of crappy cards. So this is the first time in a month where there's been really quality fights. Yeah. people are throwing money at this, and I just don't agree with it. I don't think this is the spot where you go make a ton of, like, I don't think this is what you should do. Just because it's the main event, you feel like putting a damn Honda Civic on something. I don't agree with that at all. So tread lightly. Hope you get it right. I'm rocking with Merab. I think he's going to go out there and hump a leg. But, man, I would love to see Sean win. I really would. And anybody else who wants to see him win, do what you want to do. But if you want advice and for me to break things down, become an MVP. But your free pick here is Merab. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Good luck, MVPs. I will see you tonight on the stage. Peace.